welcome into Texans today, and go look outside. The sky is not falling. We have some great news from Texans mandatory minicamp, plus a crazy day in the NFL. So let's get right into it, where everybody, let's just all take a deep breath. Let's do a 3 count in and a 3 count out. Ready? We're good. CJ Stroud throwing at minicamp. He addressed all the rumors around his injury today. He talked after practice, was slinging the ball around during practice, looked fine, looked good, and kind of what I was trying to tell y'all before whenever I had my interview with Cecil Shorts about CJ Stroud just putting in a ton of work this offseason. We really haven't seen much of him. Kind of like, last offseason he was going all around with Micah Parsons. This offseason, we don't really see much of Stroud. And it turns out the reason why he's not throwing, well, I'll let CJ Stroud tell you the reason why he wasn't throwing. I took this offseason very serious on just working hard, trying to get my body right, trying to be faster, stronger, and it went really well, but there's always a risk and a reward. So basically, what I gained from that is CJ Stroud was putting in a ton of work. He was working out, bulking up, and he got extremely sore from working out, which, from somebody who, I'm not the best athlete in the world, but after I do an arm day, after I do a leg day, you told me, oh yeah, Jeremy, you got to go throw the football right after doing an arm day. Yeah, probably wouldn't be the best idea. Probably might cause some more damage. And maybe it wasn't smart on CJ's part to, ramp it up so much right before the start of training camp and, OTAs. But still, I think it's a good sign that he's been putting in so much work this offseason trying to better himself and get better as an NFL quarterback. The fact that he was throwing at practice today, like I said before, we should have never hit the panic button. It was always okay for CJ Stroud. I put a short on the channel earlier kind of making fun of it, like, oh my God, CJ Stroud, he's finally throwing. I don't think there was ever really that much of a doubt that Stroud would be good to go for the start of this season. Go down and spam those CJ7s if you're excited to see year number 3 under CJ Stroud. Like I said, everybody take a deep breath. We're all good. Stroud's fine. We're fine. We're all fine. We are all good. Let's get into some other news and notes from mandatory minicamp. We saw the very first of Nick Chubb in a Texans uniform, donning the number 21 jersey formerly worn by Kalen Bullock. Now he's wearing number 2, but it was good to see Chubb out there. He was out there taking the running back snaps with everybody. Obviously it's, minicamp, so not really any, shoulder pads, not a lot of aggression out there, but Chubb was still out there. Good to see him in a Texans uniform. I do want to focus on some guys who were absolutely showing out today. First off, Jayden Higgins. Dude was putting on a clinic out there during 7-on-7s, during 1-on-1s. He was absolutely making plays happen. And it shows he's somebody who has very safe hands. And what I mean by that, when the ball hits his hand, he's making the catch. And that was that was what happened today at minicamp. He had an amazing one-handed catch. If you want to check that out, John Alexander of the Houston Chronicle put out a great video of it. But throughout 7-on-7s, points when you're not allowed to record practice, apparently he was also putting in work and looked really good today. Another guy who was absolutely dominating, it's Nico Collins. There's no doubt he's the Texans wide receiver 1, even with Jayden Higgins balling out. Nico Collins absolutely mossed Tremon Smith, and I will expect to see that from the Texans social media team out later today, of him just absolutely going up, climbing the ladder, and catching that football. Nico Collins, this is why I said it was maybe the best deal in the entire NFL that Nick Caserio got done, extending him preemptively, because Nico Collins, he has that mindset. He has that work ethic. He has that swarm mentality to get better each and every day, and he's exactly what you want when it comes to a leader for this football program. Let's get into the offensive line, because this is where it goes from like, oh yeah, happy, light kind of talk to maybe a little bit more serious. First off, Jeremy Branham said the Texans' first-team offensive line that went out there today, Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, Jake Andrews, Titus Howard, and Blake Fisher. That was the first lineup that went out there. So basically the same that I have besides right tackle. I have Ursery starting over Fisher in my way too early Texans offensive line depth chart. And as I always mention, all these guys, their names are written in chalk at the moment, but a couple of guys might be upgraded to pencil. And the two guys I'm talking about, And I might book it at this point that Titus Howard and Laken Tomlinson are your starting guards for your Houston Texans. They have been taking all the first team reps at guard throughout all of OTAs, minicamp. They have been the guys at guard. Jake Andrews has been kind of switching out with Jarrett Patterson. Cam Robinson has been switching out with Ariante Ursery, and Blake Fisher has been switching out with Ariante Ursery. So those guys, not sure who's starting at the tackle spots just yet, but at the guard spots, I'm close to, putting it in pencil, maybe putting it in pen that it's Laken Tomlinson and Titus Howard. Now, the point of concern came at, whenever they were doing drills, offensive line versus defensive line, and just, 11-on-11 drills as well. The defensive ends were kind of dominating. This coming from DJ Bean Aim, ESPN reporter for your Houston Texans. He said, it's only minicamp, but the Texans tackles are having issues with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Stroud got touched by both of them at the same time during second team, which I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it because Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, in my opinion, the best pass rushing duo in the entire National Football League, but not good looks for guys like a Blake Fisher, Ursery, who's a rookie, Cam Robinson, that, it seems like they've been getting by them with ease so far. And like I said, I don't know if that's a product of them just being the best edge rushers in the NFL or that we should be a little bit worried about our tackles. What we should be worried about, DJ, though, is your parking job this morning. This came out this morning from the Texans facility, the parking lot, and this was DJ's car. I mean, all respect to everything you put out there, man. This is criminal right here. This parking, Smitty, my producer Smitty's shaking his head right now at this parking job. Absolutely criminal. I don't know how you end up like this. I don't know if there's a ton of cones back here. I don't know if there's a good excuse for having your car like this in the parking lot. I'll give you a pass on this one, DJ, but absolutely nasty work in the parking lot there. Now, I won't be talking about the parking situation at NRG too much, but when it comes to the latest Texans news and rumors, you know where to go. It's right here. Hit that subscribe button. Stay locked in for the latest around your Houston Texans all year long. I got you covered. 100% free. All you got to do, go down and hit that subscribe button. Let's get into some more around Texans mandatory minicamp. Working on the side field today for the Texans, Danico Autry, Braxton Berrios not practicing today. Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce again. Mixon out of a walking boot per sources, now in an ankle brace, and seems like his mobility is much improved, tracking well for camp. So good signs on that front. Speaking of injury, though, which this, for like 5 minutes, had the NFL world in storm because you see where it says sleeve right here? Originally, it was reported as a sling. And I was like, oh my, and you see it right there. They had it as sling, and the last edit is at 10:32 a.m. Originally had it as a sling, changed it to that he was wearing a sleeve, but I did think it was funny, the quote from Jags head coach Liam Cohen, the fact that he's talking about general soreness when it comes to Trevor Lawrence and his shoulder. So kind of funny right there whenever he's talking about Trevor Lawrence, his general soreness. I wonder if Jags fans freak out as much as Texans fans did whenever C.J. Stroud had general soreness reported by D'Amico Ryans. Now coming up, crazy NFL news day today. A lot of teams reporting for camp, but not all the players reporting for camp. Is it a holdout? What should we call it? I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. But our friends over at Fanatics, I've been telling y'all repeatedly, and this is gonna be the last time, for a while, because Father's Day is right around the corner, and if you haven't ordered anything yet, you're almost screwed. But I got you covered. Go ahead and go to chatsports.com/TexansDad. Get that last second chance to get your dad something that he'll actually want, right? He doesn't want a t-shirt from Walmart and a Babe Ruth bar. He doesn't want a Butterfingers. That's not what he wants. He doesn't want the new McDonald's snack wrap that is out today. And if you're with me, go ahead and knock on some wood if you're going to go get that snack wrap today. He wants a cool Texans Dad jersey. You can get it at chatsports.com/TexansDad. That link will be in the comment section and description of today's video. Go check it out. A ton of cool stuff over there for your Father's Day needs. Now, let's talk about guys who are holding out. And I got into it with all the guys at the Chat Sports office today. Is it a holdout? It's mandatory minicamp. I don't think you should call it a holdout. Screw you, Coop. It's called a holdout because they're not there for contract reasons. whenever it's mandatory that they should be there. First up, Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for the Washington Commanders, 82 receptions last year. I mean, Jayden Daniels, wide receiver 1 going into 2025. Not a good sign for the commies that he is holding out. He wants to get paid like a wide receiver 1, and the Commanders are kind of holding out on him, paying him. They're like, oh, yeah, you're a wide receiver. They want to call him the wide receiver 1. It's like that girl where it's like, oh, yeah, she's my girlfriend. She's like, all right, well, can you tell them that I'm your girlfriend? They're like, oh, this is my friend Terry. They want to commit, but they're not committing to him being the wide receiver 1 because they don't want to pay him that wide receiver 1 money. Another guy who's looking to get paid, T.J. Watt, was not at mandatory minicamp today. And this is one maybe I'm not as concerned about a T.J. Watt holding out because, you know what you're going to get from him, and this Steelers defense is fantastic. I couldn't really see T.J. Watt holding out during training camp and as we get closer to the 2025 NFL season. But another notable name who is not at practice today, Bengals. It is just a shit show in Cincinnati. Shemar, Stewart, Trey, Hendrickson, both of their starting edge rushers not practicing today. I mean, at what point is the NFL going to be like, hey, we need to try to sell the Cincinnati Bengals to some competent owners? Because these are the cheapest, sports team owners that I've ever heard about in all of sports. I mean, the Bengals are just a monstrosity when it comes to their front office, when it comes to their ownership group. You have both your starting edge rushers not at practice. Not a good look for Cincy. And lastly, the Dolphins, Jalen, Ramsey, and Jonnu Smith, both not at mandatory minicamp, not practicing today. Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith around a ton of trade rumors, so not a really contract-related thing when it comes to these two guys. It's just, I feel like they're like, we're going to get traded eventually this offseason, so it doesn't make sense for me to go and learn this new playbook when this isn't the team that I'm going to be playing for. So Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, both also holding out. That's all I have for you on today's show, folks. You can hit me up on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs for the latest around the Houston Texans. My DMs are always open if you want to continue the conversation. And as I said earlier, this is your one-stop shop for Texans news and rumors. Go down and hit that subscribe button. 100% free, 100% of the time.